faithfully conveying value, exploring great books worldwide. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we're discussing Our Children, its English subtitle being The American Dream in Crisis. This is an exceptionally critical work. It addresses one core question: why can't underprivileged youth break class barriers in a stratified society? The New York Times remarked, after this book, no one can believe in American equality of opportunity. Author Robert Putnam stands among the most authoritative scholars in this field. Born in 1941, Putnam ranks among America's foremost political scientists, former APSA president, and Harvard chaired professor. He's National Academy member, recipient of top political science awards, and the National Humanities Medal. He's advised multiple national leaders, including U.S. presidents and U.K. prime ministers. Focusing on democratic politics and grassroots movements, he's authored 14 works, including Making Democracy Work and Bowling Alone. International scope emphasized through pacing. Translated into 20 or more languages, his ideas have inspired global grassroots movements. Our Children presents exceptionally rigorous research and data. Through interviews with 107 American youth and multi-city research, Putnam vividly illustrates widening class divisions over half a century. His conclusion: today's American rich and poor children face comprehensive developmental gaps. We often say the American dream centers on individual effort and equal opportunity, but tragically, this dream has now declined. How did this American dream collapse? Do underprivileged youth still have opportunities? I'll explore this book through three key questions. First, why has the American dream shattered? Second, how does class origin determine children's futures? Third, how can we challenge unequal opportunities? Now let's begin with the first question. Why has the American dream shattered? Putnam first takes us to his hometown, Port Clinton, Ohio, an industrial town on Lake Erie. Over half a century ago, this town epitomized the American dream. In the late 1950s, Putnam attended high school in Port Clinton. America then had historically low class barriers, with rapid economic and educational growth and strong social cohesion. Class distinctions were minimal across the schools, communities, and society at large. Port Clinton included. The thriving town had few impoverished families, with most enjoying stable livelihoods. Children from different economic backgrounds studied and played together. Every Friday, families gathered at the football field for games. Putnam's 1959 graduation became a town-wide celebration. Residents collectively claimed these graduates as our children, regardless of blood relations. Crucially, children from all backgrounds could surpass their parents' circumstances. Take Jesse, an African-American classmate who fled Southern racism with his family. The 1950s marked the early stages of America's civil rights movement. While far from perfect, Port Clinton offered Jesse class mobility opportunities. Jesse's mother was a hotel maid, father a dock worker. They lived in the poor district. But class constraints couldn't suppress Jesse's talent and drive. Excelling in sports, Jesse joined teams, made white friends, became student council president. He earned college scholarships through football, working while completing his master's. Ultimately becoming LA's education director, he achieved class transcendence. Wealthy kids then often downplayed their privilege. Like Frank, a multi-generational heir from prominent family, his college-educated parents held significant social status. His family ran multiple businesses, including fishing, farming, and restaurants. Yet, Frank started working summers at the family restaurant at 15, with parents limiting his spending habits to match peers. Egalitarian values were celebrated then, making wealth flaunting socially awkward. Though family wealth ensured stability, it didn't propel Frank to extraordinary success. After high school, Frank attended a state college, joined the Navy, then became a newspaper editor before managing minor family ventures. In Putnam's parents' generation, less than 5% graduated college. A third didn't finish high school. But 75% of Putnam's generation surpassed their parents' education, climbing social ladders. These stories show success depended on talent and initiative in their era. 1950s America saw higher social mobility than today with less inherited privilege. Post 1970s America witnessed manufacturing decline and working class quality deterioration. Industrial towns like Port Clinton suffered economic stagnation and social fragmentation. Vanishing blue-collar jobs and eroding welfare accelerated polarization. Crime rates tripled national averages by 2010 as economic despair deepened. Single-parent households doubled in 4 decades amid economic hardship. Divorce rates quadrupled as globalization increased workforce demands. Family instability stemmed from growing skill demands in globalized economy. Consequently, those with lower education levels faced diminishing incomes. Particularly for men without college degrees, where single incomes once supported families, that era has irrevocably passed. Economic shifts erode low-income men's ability to provide. Women reject unstable partnerships. Chronic financial stress becomes relationship poison for disadvantaged couples. Traditional marriage norms fade as unplanned pregnancies and casual breakups proliferate. Thus, class-based childhood disparities widen dramatically. Fluent children now demand luxury birthday rentals without hesitation, unthinkable in the 1950s. Meanwhile, impoverished children endure anxious, isolated existences devoid of hope. Putnam profiles David, an 18-year-old Port Clinton resident, 2012, apparently abandoned since childhood. His mother vanished post-divorce. His drug-addicted father cycled through girlfriends and jail time. With 9 half-siblings, constant moves led to armed robbery charges during unstable schooling. David expressed strong college aspirations during interviews, but achieving this remained mystifying without guidance. Neither teachers nor neighbors offered support systems. Port Clinton's communal spirit died. David became nobody's child. Now surviving through odd jobs, he remains trapped in cyclical poverty. Putnam argues such cases demonstrate the collapse of opportunity-centered American dream. Since the 1970s, equality trends have reversed course, accelerating wealth polarization. Affluent families prosper while poor ones decline educationally and economically. Today's America exhibits rigid class segregation through widening economic gaps. In 1950s, rich poor kids neighbored, studied, played, worshiped together, even dated across classes. Both children and parents maintained cross-class friendships. Now, 21st century lives remain confined within class boundaries. Economic segregation dictates neighborhoods, schools, and marriage choices. This is American childhood's current reality, the fundamental truth today's youth must confront. We've covered part 1, the shattered American dream of equal opportunity. Next, we explore how class origins shape childhood experiences and life chances. Putnam identifies 3 class transmission mechanisms: family structure, school quality, and social capital. First, examining class-based family structure impacts. 5 decades of class-diverged family transformations created 2 distinct models: the neo-traditional categorization with precision, college-educated upper-third families. Dual incomes enable luxury spending in these households. They practice egalitarian gender roles. The fragile family model, high school-educated lower-third households. In these households, unmarried parents with unstable relationships expose children to chaotic adult dynamics. Putnam found these family structures profoundly impact child development. Parental time, educational resources, and family environments differ dramatically between models. Affluent families employed deliberate cultivation strategies. College-educated parents articulated methodically. College-educated parents experience less stress, demonstrate better planning and life direction. They foster independence, confidence, and optimism through intentional parenting. Regular family dinners, storytelling, educational guidance, and professional consultations characterize their approach. Substantial comparison with precise enunciation. Top 10% families spent $6,600 annually in 2007, 9 times more than bottom 10% families' expenditures. Fragile families practice neglectful disciplinary and parenting. Working class parents' survival focus limits childcare time. 45 minutes less daily than college graduates, 23 data. Many children endure single parent or grandparent led upbringings. Limited education prevents meaningful guidance from adults. Children mainly receive rigid orders rather than reasoned dialogue. Discipline replaces nurturing in resource depleted environments. This parenting dichotomy perpetuates class immobility. And worse still, many struggling parents unconsciously take out life's pressures on their kids. Mistakes often trigger harsh scolding or physical discipline from frustrated parents. Putnam cites recent studies showing early experiences shape brain development. Simply put, nurtured children develop faster intellectually and emotionally. Chronic stress from poverty and neglect causes irreversible brain damage, impairing learning and mental health. These deficits can't be overcome through individual effort alone. Next, examining class-based educational disparities. America's public education was meant to be society's equalizer, supposed to provide upward mobility regardless of background. Instead, schools now amplify class divisions rather than bridge them. Reality: wealthy kids attend elite schools, poor kids get underfunded ones. Outcomes diverge drastically. Why such stark differences between school qualities? School segregation mirrors neighborhood economic divisions, from widening wealth gaps. 3 decades of income polarization created parallel educational tracks. The research shows peer socioeconomic status significantly impacts academic performance. Students in affluent peer schools outperform regardless of personal background. Surprisingly, a child's classmates become the key determinant of academic success and future earnings. Putnam compares Troy and Santa Ana high schools in Orange County to demonstrate class-based disparities. The two schools, Troy versus Santa Ana, government funding metrics show parity, equal per student spending and staff ratios. Yet academic outcomes diverge shockingly. Troy's SAT scores rank in top 10% nationally. Sober contrast delivered clinically. Santa Ana's scores languish in bottom 20%. Santa Ana's dropout rate quadruples Troy's, absenteeism is tenfold higher. What drives this dramatic performance gap? The disparity stems from family resources and peer environments, not material investments. Troy serves affluent families with college-educated parents. Wealth translates to academic coaching, extracurricular funding, and parental involvement. Troy boasts 100 or more student clubs sustained by parental donations. Santa Ana families lack financial capacity for similar support. Peer-driven academic competition explained collective performance. Positive role models significantly boost learning motivation and potential. Negative environments correlate with truancy and substance abuse. Santa Ana's campus battles pervasive external socioeconomic pressures. Educational disparities extend beyond K-12 schooling. Underprivileged college students face lower graduation rates due to inadequate preparation. 74% of affluent students graduate college with good grades. Only 29% of high-achieving low-income students complete degrees. Even low-performing affluent students graduate at 30%, 10 times poor students' 3% rate. High-achieving poor students graduate less than low-achieving rich peers. The equality-centered American dream has vanished. Finally, examining community environments and social capital impacts. Polarized social analysis with gravitas creates divergent life trajectories across classes. Social capital, a key sociological concept. What constitutes social capital? Sociologists define it as individual social connectivity. Includes personal networks and institutional participation. Strong predictor of both personal happiness and upward mobility. Higher education correlates with expansive, robust social networks. Less education means sparse, limited social connections. This profoundly impacts childhood development. Affluent families' networks include professionals as mentors. These connections provide guidance, opportunities, and expanded worldviews. Underprivileged families rely solely on limited social networks within their class. These networks often create risks rather than opportunities for upward mobility. Take Molly, a mother living in Philadelphia's Kensington neighborhood with 2 adult daughters. Once a cohesive working-class area, Kensington is now among America's most dangerous communities. Gun violence occurs with disturbing regularity here. Surrounded by open drug use, both Molly's husbands became addicts, her daughter's teen mothers battling substance abuse. Social capital gaps create divergent life trajectories over time. Affluent children gain strategic vision to seize opportunities. Underprivileged youth face decision paralysis and toxic environmental influences. This concludes Part 2 analysis of class transmission mechanisms. Family structure, schools, and social networks collectively determine life outcomes. What can be done about this entrenched inequality? Part 3 explores potential remedies. Unaddressed childhood poverty threatens U.S. economic and democratic foundations. Globalization skill demands render undereducated workers increasingly obsolete. Economist Harry Holzer's research reveals childhood poverty costs America $500 billion annually, nearly 4% of GDP. Less educated individuals show lower political engagement and government trust. Checked class divisions threaten America's democratic foundations and political stability. How should we address worsening opportunity inequality? Putnam proposes interventions through family structure, education, and social capital. Working class analysis with emphasis primarily drives opportunity gaps. Government must prioritize boosting working class incomes and family revitalization. Establish agencies to prevent unplanned pregnancies through family planning support. Provide direct cash assistance and tax relief for single mothers or low-income families. Early childhood financial support crucially impacts brain development. Research shows $3,000 family income increase, ages 0 to 5, boost SAT scores by 20 points. Adult earnings increase 20% with early childhood financial support. Direct funding allocation to disadvantaged children creates lifelong impact. Educational reform requires urgently redistributing students, teachers, and funding across schools. Subsidize mixed-income neighborhoods to enable residential integration. Break class-based school segregation through enrollment reforms. Transfer students presented methodically. Transfer students to better schools or upgrade underperforming institutions with funding. Finally, regarding community environments, Putnam advocates community-based equal access to extracurriculars. Why emphasize extracurricular activities specifically? Studies prove extracurriculars shape positive character traits. Long-term participants achieve academic or professional success with higher earnings. Government should eliminate fees and expand subsidized programs for underprivileged youth. This concludes Part 3's analysis. Opportunity inequality keeps worsening in contemporary America. Solutions begin with stabilizing disadvantaged family structures. Second, redistribute educational resources across schools. Third, ensure equal extracurricular access for all children. Upward mobility becomes increasingly improbable for underprivileged Americans. Immediate action required to bridge opportunity gaps threatening historic pattern recognition have repeatedly endangered U.S. foundations. Past efforts successfully restored equality through generational reforms. These efforts embody Americans' fundamental commitment to collective welfare. Investing in others' children recognizes our shared humanity and destiny. This concludes our children analysis. Study notes available below. Join us tomorrow.